What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new fresh Liverpool transfer news video where we will talk about Dennis Zakaria, the Borussia Mönchengladbach midfielder. Fabricio Romano has confirmed that Liverpool are very interested in signing him. He is of course going to be a free agent in the summer. So from January the 1st he can sign a pre-contract agreement with Liverpool or any other club outside of Germany. So we will take a look at that story in this video and also many other Liverpool COVID and injury news and transfer news and other reports for you guys. So if you enjoy these Liverpool transfer news updates, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And according to reports by the Express newspaper and other newspapers, Zakaria, who is only 25 years old, has attracted interest from some of the world's biggest clubs after, Gladbach signed him for only £8.5 million in 2017 from a Swiss side Young Boys. Now he is one of the most exciting midfielders in the Bundesliga, and he's similar to Wijnaldum in that he's a box-to-box midfielder, so he can defend but he can attack as well. And he's a powerhouse midfielder, so strong, so big, fast, agile. And Zakaria is available on a pre-contract agreement. On a free transfer, I think it makes a lot of sense for Liverpool to go after him. But Romano says that the likes of Juventus, Bayern Munich and Roma are also interested in Zakaria. This is what Fabricio Romano said. He's a super interesting player. We are talking about a player who is playing for Gladbach regularly. He's one of their starting 11 players, but he's out of contract in 2022 in June. So some clubs are approaching the player to sign him in the January transfer window, and some clubs are approaching him to sign as a free agent in June 2022. And he has changed his agent recently, and Roma were interested, but that is now going to be complicated because of the change of agents, because his previous agent was talking with Roma. And then Zakaria is at the perfect age at 25. I think he's at the prime or approaching the prime of his career. This is his 5th season in the Bundesliga, and he's not an injury-prone player. He's playing almost every game for Borussia Mönchengladbach, and he on average scores 1 or 2 goals, so he's mainly a defensive midfielder, but he can attack when it's needed. But I think he would be a long-term James Milner replacement because Milner is 35, so 10 years older than Zakaria, and I think Liverpool need a midfielder. And for a free transfer, and we have to only pay his wages and a little bit of a signing bonus, it would make a lot of sense to sign a player who is worth 35-40 million pounds. So if that move doesn't work out, we can sell him on for a massive profit, and if it does work out, then it's a brilliant transfer for literally very little money. And it has been pretty evident in this first half of the season. Liverpool now have one of the oldest squads, oldest teams in the Premier League, and we need freshening it up. Liverpool have an aging midfield already, and we signed Thiago, who is not a youngster himself anymore either. So Liverpool need to find replacements, or at least bring in the young blood, because Thiago, Henderson, James Milner are already 30 years old or above. Fabinho is approaching 30 years old as well. And yes, they are in the prime of their careers. Maybe Milner not so much. Milner is already declining, but maybe Henderson, we is starting to see the decline of Henderson. Sometimes they don't really have the legs to keep up with the top midfielders in the Premier League. Chelsea, I think in the second half, they had the better of the midfield battle, and that was a problem. So Fabricio Romano confirms that Liverpool will be looking to bring in a new midfielder. He said, I think it's going to be an interesting summer. Liverpool need to clarify the contract situation of Salah and Mane, but I think they will look to have some players come in to be behind the big stars with a different level, because of course Divock Origi is always going great when he's called to play, but he might want something new for his future. For example, Liverpool are looking for a new midfielder in the summer of 2022. In defense, they have done fantastic business with Ibrahim Konate. I'm told they are super happy with his attitude, how professional he is, and how he is performing and adapting to a new league, the Premier League. This is the plan for Liverpool, to have new players behind the big stars, ready to jump into the first team and show their skills. I can't say it will definitely be a big window, because it depends on the opportunities, but Liverpool always show that they are ready to do that, to do big transfers when the opportunity arises. So I think Liverpool have money to spend. Is the right kind of player? Is he available, and does he fit the profile that Jurgen Klopp is looking for? But I think Liverpool are in desperate need of investment. If you look at the past 3 years, Liverpool have a net spend of a few million, I think 3.5 million if I'm correct. And that isn't right when teams like Aston Villa and Arsenal are outspending Liverpool, and even teams like Brighton. It's not right that Liverpool don't have a net spend of at least 50 million for the past 3 years. Combined, I mean. Liverpool need to invest in their squad. Otherwise, this Jurgen Klopp era will be defined by only one Premier League and one Champions League trophy. Of course, I'm not writing this season off. I still think that we have still a small chance in the Premier League title race if we can put a winning run together, and we have some winnable games coming up in the Premier League. Brentford, and Crystal Palace, and also we need to get to the League Cup final. We need to win that competition. So this Jurgen Klopp era, when people look back in 10-20 years to this era, they won't remember it as a golden era unless Liverpool win more trophies. One Premier League and one Champions League trophy is brilliant, but I think we need a little bit more, and I think this squad is capable of more with just a little bit help, a little bit of investment. And Zakaria has already confirmed that he's not extending his contract at Mönchengladbach. He already spent 5 seasons at the Bundesliga club, and I think he wants a new adventure. Mönchengladbach haven't won a trophy in that time, and they are not really even contenders for winning the German Cup or winning the German League. So I think it's the right decision for Zakaria himself. But there is another option. Let's sign Zakaria for just 6 or 7 million in the January transfer window. That could be an option, so he could come in and help Liverpool for the second half of the season. And I think we need another midfielder because Thiago is injury prone, Henderson is injury prone, Naby Keita is injury prone, James Milner of course at 35, he won't play every game. We don't have anymore a reliable, rock hard, steel solid midfielder like Wijnaldum, who played pretty much every game last season. And I think in hindsight it was a little bit of a mistake letting Wijnaldum go, because in these tumultuous times when with COVID and everything, having a player as reliable as Wijnaldum who is almost never injured, it would be an absolute godsend for Liverpool. And Didi Hamann, the former German midfielder of Liverpool, said that Zakaria would be a perfect addition for Liverpool. He said, I think his game is definitely suited to the Premier League. I think he could be a player for Liverpool. He's a player that has a great engine on him, and he could play a more defensive role if Fabinho was missing. He has a brilliant mix of dynamism, technique and power. He would be a brilliant FSG signing for Liverpool. Because there is still room for Zakaria to grow and develop as a player, and one suspects that Jurgen Klopp could make him even better and get the best out of him, bring the best out of him. Almost every single player that signed for Liverpool during the Jurgen Klopp era has developed and has gone on to become an even better player than they were before they signed for Liverpool. And I want to update you guys on Liverpool's injury list and who is available and who is not. The biggest concern before the Arsenal League Cup semi-final first leg is that we don't have a lot of fit strikers or attackers. Minamino, Origi are out injured, Firmino is out with COVID, Mane and Salah are off to the Africa Cup of Nations, so that's 5 attackers out of the 6 attackers that we have. Diogo Jota is the only one who is fit and available. Let's hope that Minamino and Origi can recover from their injuries before the Arsenal game. Otherwise, I don't even know who will play up front. Alisson, Firmino and Matip are out with COVID, with Jurgen Klopp as well. So they need to isolate for 10 days before they can come back. So hopefully they will be able to come back before the Arsenal second leg. Thiago Alcantara is nursing a hip injury, and that's a concern because with Thiago, Liverpool pretty much win every game when he starts. Without Thiago, we win about 40% of our games, so we need Thiago back. Minamino is closer, he's running outside, but he still needs a few days and he will be closely assessed before the Arsenal game. Divock Origi is still not training with the team. According to Pep Yinders, or maybe he's just started training. Ned Phillips is sidelined until January after fracturing a cheekbone, so he could come back very, very soon. Harvey Elliott is also making a good progress, but he's still a little bit like a few weeks away from starting a proper team training. And honestly, after not winning the last 3 Premier League games, getting 2 points from a possible 9, I really want Liverpool to field a strong team against Arsenal. And I really want Liverpool to go through in the League Cup and in the FA Cup. The FA Cup game is against Shrewsbury. I think even with a rotated team, Liverpool can beat Shrewsbury. But I really hope that we play a strong squad against Arsenal. We need to rotate anyway because Alisson, Firmino, Matip, Thiago are all out with COVID or injuries. So, and Mane and Salah and Naby Keita are out for the Africa Cup of Nations. So that's like already 5 or 6 regular starters out of the team. So we will rotate anyway. Let's go for the League Cup and let's win a domestic trophy. Something that Liverpool have never won under Jurgen Klopp, and that needs to change this season. And Jordan Henderson said that Liverpool are disappointed with the goals that they conceded against Chelsea. The first one is an outstanding finish, but the lead up to it we were disappointed with, and then conceding so quickly, again, we will be disappointed with that also. James Milner gave away needlessly a foul or a corner, I'm not sure, before the Kovacic goal. And then Liverpool go in at halftime, and Liverpool gave everything in the second half, but it was not enough to beat Chelsea. And in the end, Chelsea were the more likely team to win it, and not Liverpool. And Henderson is right that on another day, Liverpool could have scored another one on the counter-attack. They had a couple of good chances, and Chelsea keeper made some brilliant saves. Of course, if you look at the league, Henderson said, we would have liked to have taken the 3 points to get closer to Man City, but unfortunately, under the circumstances, we couldn't do that. We were disappointed with the last game against Leicester. Overall, we weren't at the races really, and we can play a lot better. If we do that, then I think we get the 3 points, so that was a big disappointment. But I think we showed a reaction today to keep going, keep digging in when things aren't going our way, to just try to keep going, and we ended up getting a point. So like I said, still some positives to take forwards, still a lot of football to play. From now until the end of the season, we will just give it absolutely everything when we get on the pitch. We know how strong Man City are, Chelsea are, and the whole of the Premier League. It's a tough league, some very good teams, so you can't get focused on anything else but yourself. We just need to focus on what we need to do in every game that we play, and everybody in the squad needs to be ready to play over this next period, over the next few weeks, especially without Keita, Mane and Salah. That's football. You dig in, you keep going as a squad, and hopefully we get our rewards come the end of the season. But every single member of the Liverpool squad needs to prepare to take part in this January hectic period, and they need to step up. The fringe players, the young players, they all need to step up and deliver and score goals, get assists, because without Mane and Salah, we are without 2 of our best goal scorers this season. So Jota needs to score. He has been scoring regularly, but Jota needs to score more, and the other guys needs to score as well. And Pep Ljinders, of course, who is now Liverpool's manager after Jurgen Klopp is out with COVID, he said that Liverpool should have controlled the game better at Chelsea. After being 2-0 up early on, we were lethal in our counterattacks, and even we had moments even before 2-0. And in the moments we played, we really connected well. We were quick in mind, we thought about the next pass, the way we opened up spaces was incredible. We used these spaces really well in the whole game. Maybe sometimes the last pass, maybe sometimes a better timing with our movement in behind to create even more. But overall, I can speak a lot about tactics and all these ideas, but for me the feeling is pride, because we could have come here with a lot of excuses, but the team could have come here with all kinds of excuses of COVID, injuries, without the main manager, but they thought with all they had, and getting a result away at Chelsea is always good. The problem is that we dropped too many points already before the Chelsea game. And Pep Ljinders interestingly said that the problem wasn't defensively. We corrected a few things at halftime, but I think the problem was we didn't keep the ball for long enough in many moments where we went into their half, because that's the moment they have to push wingbacks back in, and that's the moment where we can really also rest with the ball. The balance was not right today. But again, you can always do things better in a draw. We are happy we take this point because it's a positive point in a very difficult situation. So yes, in isolation, Liverpool can be happy with a point away at Stamford Bridge. In the whole context of the whole season and in the context of the last few game weeks, Liverpool needed to win against Chelsea, and we didn't do. And of course, Man City are laughing all the way about this result, especially after beating Arsenal in the last minute. So right now Liverpool is having the most difficult moment in their season. Pep said, Man City will get a difficult situation. We have to focus on ourselves and just try to win the next game, and then win the next game, and then win the next game. It's a cliche, but if you treat the next game as your cup final, and if you focus on that and try to win that, things can change very quickly. If Chelsea beat Man City in the next game week and Liverpool beat Brentford, suddenly the gap is 5 points if Liverpool win their games in hand. And then if we beat Man City at the Etihad, it's 2 points. So Liverpool are within touching distance again of Man City. Let's hope Man City get a bad period in their season very, very soon, because I think the fixtures for Manchester City are going to be tough in the next few weeks. If I remember correctly, they play Chelsea next. And yes, after that they have Southampton and Brentford and Norwich, but then they play Tottenham, Everton and Man United. And Crystal Palace away is never an easy game. So those are the 4 game weeks, I think, where Man City could drop points, and the Chelsea one as well. So Liverpool will need to be within touching distance of Manchester City. And Liverpool have some winnable games coming up. Brentford, Crystal Palace, Leicester, Burnley, Norwich, West Ham, Brighton. So we don't play a big team until March the 19th. Liverpool have to win every single one of those games. And yes, West Ham and Leicester will be tough. And Crystal Palace away will be tough as well, but Liverpool are capable of winning those games. Let's hope we can do that. Every single player in the Liverpool squad needs to step up now, and let's see if we can get through the League Cup semi-finals as well. That would be a big boost for the rest of the season if Liverpool were to win the League Cup final as well. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later. Good night.